organization, especially to Rekha Ramachandran madam and Sri Hariji who's here. And it's a very important organization. The name itself is fantastic, Disha Bharat. And Bharat always had a Disha. And it is very important for young people to understand where we are going and who are we, and culturally where we are. And by understanding both, we will know what is Bharat. And I once again thank the organizers for taking this in a massive scale. More than 4 lakh people got trained in Disha Bharat, thousands of volunteers spread across our country. And this service is very important, and this selfless volunteer service is very important, because any work that is done without an expectation, and that will always multiply, it will add benefits to our country. And this is done without benefit, without any expectation or benefit, and only as a form of seva. And the topic today that Disha Bharat has told me that I should talk to you, share whatever little I know about life, is on India 2047, a global leader rooted in timeless wisdom. And before I get into some of the thoughts I want to express to you, I would like to picture what India will be, what Bharat will be in 2047, which is 22 years from now, how Bharat will be. If we can just visualize. Very clearly, we will see in 2047, Bharat would be the largest populated country in the global world. Even now, we are the largest populated. We are at 144 crore. Possibly, we'll be hitting 167 crore. We'll be at 167 crore, 1.67 billion, and 1.67 billion Bharatiyas will be making this country enriching. And probably at 2047, if we go by the current projection, and Bharat would the GDP would be somewhere around 35 trillion and 35 trillion. So right now we are at 4 trillion. We can imagine the jump of 8 times in the next 22 years. And the per capita income right now we are at $2,500 per person. Probably will be hitting $22,000. Again, it will be about 9 times jump in about 22 years. And the renewable energy, the proportion, making our planet greener, safer, and livable for our next generation also. Right now, in 2023-24, renewable energy as a mix of the total energy production, we are at 23%. Probably in 2047, we'll be at 70% of our energy needs will be met by renewable energy. And will be more urbanized. Right now, we are at 53 crore. Possibly by 2047, will be 90 crore, 900 million. And defense spending would be very, very high. We are projecting it will be about 32 lakh crore. Currently we are 5 times lesser. So this is an imagination economically how we will be. But we always have to understand whether we'll be happy, we'll be contented, and Bharat would be a beacon to the whole world, to the whole global community, where we will be sharing a lot of our best practices to the global community, so that the world itself is happy. The world itself is prosperous. This is very important. And we have seen a lot of global powers coming and going. Britain were a superpower, and that slowly got shifted to US for the last 100 years or so. US is a great power. It shared some with Russia after the dissolve of USSR. Now US is a preeminent global power. Now China is a fast rising power. We are a middle power. Now, all this time, if we can take best practices of each of those countries, we can only use the word called hegemony. Each of the time the superpower came, they tried to impose their will, they tried to impose their economic model on other country. And it was more like a mercantile system, and those countries grew, the world also grew. But what is special with Bharat's rise? Not so special with the former countries that occupied the number 1, number 2, number 3 position. What will be Bharat's special? And it will be a non-hegemonic rise. This is very important. And Bharat's rise to 30, 33, 35 trillion dollars by 2047 will be a non-hegemonic rise. We are not going to put our foot down, stamp any country, and make any country's colony of us, and then we'll be growing. We'll be growing on our own wisdom. We'll be growing with our own strength, with our own might. And this fascinates me as a Bharati. I'm sure this will be fascinating you as a Bharati also. And all of us are excited for the next 22, 23 years to see when we complete 100 years of our independence, the growth that we achieve would be in our own strength. It will be a global model where we would help a lot of countries to grow. And till now, many of the countries, the global powers, don't have a clue with respect to living a good life. For them, living a good life means more cars, expending more energy resources. It is buying a lot of materials, and creating a consumerist behavior. But Bharat's rise would be very different. As I spoke to you, I said by 2047 we are forecasting that 70% of our energy needs would be met from the renewable energy source. That is very different, and we are not going to pollute the environment more to grow. And before us, every single country which has grown, they have polluted the environment. They have at least created global warming. They have disturbed the ecological balance, and probably we are going to do without doing any of this. So that excites me more, and the planet is going to be great, and we are going to have a green planet. And more importantly, the successive generation will be very proud of the path we have chosen to achieve this milestone by 2047. And more importantly, which excites me even more, anything is, we are using the word and the topic also, timeless wisdom. And Bharat is a country, very clearly when we look back, that our wisdom can't be quantified. It is timeless. It is last 1,500 years. If you look back, there are some qualities that is essential to being a Bharatiya that has brought us here. And right now we are fast evolving. We are trying to codify it. We are trying to get our law streamlined. And as we speak, in the last 10, 11 years, massive work has happened at the ground level. And the new education policy from 2020, we are using the word called Indian knowledge system, which I'm aware Disha Bharat is also very instrumental in promoting IKS, Indian knowledge systems, where we are bringing our traditional medical systems, we are bringing our traditional Vedic systems, and which we think is useful to the world now, which we think will make the world a happy place, which we think will make the world a holistic place. And the Naya Sastra, Darga Sastra, and the importance that Bharat has always given to fine arts, and importance Bharat has always given to beings which can't speak, which we can simply ignore and move on. But Bharatiyas, we chose not to do that, and the living beings who are with us who chose not to speak, and they also find a place in our growth stream. And we are not very reckless to say that only human beings are created and all other beings are here only to satisfy the pleasure of a human being. And our philosophy don't take that path, and we treat all the beings respectfully, all the beings as important. So this excites me. So we are in that phase where the Indian knowledge system is coming and making a very strong comeback. The new generation of youths are getting trained away from the Macaulayan model. The Macaulayan model, fortunately or unfortunately, the Thomas Babington Macaulay wrote the whole thing in my state in Ooty. So he also holds the pedigree, the record of writing two laws: the Indian education model Thomas Babington Macaulay wrote, and also the Indian penal system he wrote, and the IPC, which we call the Indian Penal Code, was also written by Macaulay long time back. Now, for last 150 years, we were supposed to kind of forced to adhere to it. Education system was based on that, and our penal system was based on that. Like last 11 years, slowly, steadily, we are coming out of it. We are changing it for the better. The IPC has undergone massive changes. BNS has come now, and CRP has undergone massive changes. The education model, 1965, 68, the Rajiv Gandhi's time, the education model they had, everything has undergone a massive change. We have entered the new education model phase from 2020. So we are building a brick essentially for what is going to happen in 2047. Without laying a strong foundation, we cannot just reach there. And we are also very clear, the Honorable Prime Minister, right from the time of Corona, he talks about Atmanirbhar Bharat, he talks about Swadeshi, we talk about creating strong MSMEs within our country, where we become a global power, not by following the models that other countries have followed. They kind of produce, and keep exporting. China has followed that model. The US followed the consumerist model, but we are going to follow a very different model. And that model is based on our needs. We got to create our own products, and we got to be self-sustaining in whatever we do, right from agriculture to technology to our arms and armament, everything we want to create within our country, and we got to bring our indigenous technology to it. So this laying of groundwork is massive over the last 11 years. I'm really happy about it, that phase by phase we have come to a stage. Right now, we all feel confident, we all feel happy, and we all feel proud that this can happen in our lifetime. The previous generations also, at some point of time, they had that feeling that India can grow, but somehow the faulty economic policies we had. 1991, we all know, we had to borrow gold from the Bank of England, because we didn't have enough gold support just to import fuel to our country. 1970s, late 1970s, we had to borrow wheat, the IL model from US. We had to do wheat imports to feed our population. So we were that bad at one point of time, because the people are fantastic. The countrymen, we always had a lot of dynamism, but the governments at power, and the model that we followed, the first 5-year plan, second, third, the socialist mindset that we took, and which killed lot of energy levels of our countrymen, which never took the animal spirit out. And 1991, we were forced to liberalize, and that also happened with piecemeal bits and pieces. Then Vajpayee's government in 98, 99 till 2004. First time it had showed our country that we can govern ourselves without corruption. We can govern ourselves by not depending on superpowers. We can do our own nuclear test, but to protect our own country, and no major powers that can dictate the path India should take. That is one level of confidence that we got. Then from 2014, after Narendra Modi ji has come to power, we are very clear. Our foreign policy is not dictated by global powers. We do what is right for us, and we follow a unique economic philosophy. And we have lifted millions of our countrymen out of poverty. As we speak, so much miracle has happened in the last 11 years. The so-called extreme poverty, the indicator of extreme poverty, 2.15 US dollar. In that context, we have almost lifted 250 million, 25 crore of our countrymen out of that extreme poverty. Right now, extreme poverty is in a single digit, and gone are the days. If you look at the different committees, 26%, 28%, we are in negligible single digit. Even I'm very sure completion of 2026, 2027, we will eliminate extreme poverty in our Bharatiya land. So a lot of things has happened, and we got to be very clear with respect to what we have achieved over the last 11 years, because we should not take things lightly. And so much hard work has happened. So much hard work has happened to reach where we are. Only then we are dreaming of 2047. I still remember the last budget of Congress in 2013, when Mr. P. Chidambaram was our Union Finance Minister. So to reach position number 5, position number 4 in terms of the world economy, they projected 2033. They said by 2033, India will achieve the world's top 5 economic. Now we have already achieved 5, we have moved to 4. And we are just moving towards 4. We just have Japan and Germany and China about it, and US about it. We have achieved it good 9 years before it. So 2013, the prediction of a different government, and the current government headed by Narendra Modi ji's prediction of reaching 5. We can just see we are becoming more ambitious and achievable goals. We are having a projection of where we want to go. Of course, there are also challenges in our path. The challenges is not easy, and we have overcome all the challenges one after the other. So here, though I have spoken about all the great things that our country will achieve in the next 22 years, I also like to present a couple of challenges. One is going to be a technological disruption. How good we are going to be in terms of adapting new technology. How open we are as a country, that is going to be a number one determinant. Because industrial revolution is a bust that we missed it. And we were an agrarian economy, and Britishers made sure we never transformed ourselves to an industrial economy. So the British for a long time kept us only as a country which can supply raw material to Britain. And we missed the industrial revolution. But we have seen how the Europe has grown, how the Americans have grown. We missed that bus. Then very consciously, we also took a very socialist approach after 1950 for a long time. And now, for the very first time in our country, we believe we are at the forefront of many of the technologies. Artificial intelligence, no more it's a fight between China and US. We are also a serious player there in AGI. And not only that, we are a country number 1 in the world in terms of fast adapting AI to use. Somebody can invent AI, but in terms of adaptation, we are one of the fastest countries in terms of adapting AI to our daily work-life environment. So there we are. And not only that, if you look at the global manpower, the Fortune 500 companies, the global leaderships across the world, we very clearly see our Indians occupying a lot of top places, CEOs, COOs, CXOs. This just does not happen by accident. And Indians slowly we have moved up the ladder, and that because we carry empathy, and global corporations needs a different way of outlook. No more people can operate with a very rapacious consumerist mindset, and there Indians with our mindset, with our spirit, and having that empathy factor inside it, also same time using both our heart and brain in terms of functioning as a leader. That is carefully making sure some of the greatest corporations in the world, Indians are at the top, and we can only see this trend more in the future. We are not going to see this trend lessening down. We will only see this trend more in the future. and because we are adapting to technology faster, and we are evolving to the global workplace. A lot of GCC countries, almost all the GCC countries have companies. The global GCC companies have their headquarters or a branch office here, in Hyderabad, in Chennai, in Bangalore, all fastest growing cities. So going by this projection, the young population that we have, I'm very, very sure in the next 22 years, we will continue to play an outsized dominant role in terms of the global corporation, also having a lot of companies within our country. So technological disruption is a challenge, no doubt, but I'm pretty sure that we will overcome it, and we will go ahead in terms of adapting it, and also maybe after some time being the pioneers in terms of getting the new technology. Already renewable energy, if you look at it, solar, we are fast catching up, and where the world has to be 20 years from now, we have the technology ready. Biofuels, we are fast growing as a major country that has got this fuel mix, the flexi line, and the flex systems of what we are already there. Uh, Computer, we are no more the cheap labor of the world. We are fast moving up the value chain, in adaptability, in terms of offering new things with computer systems. You're already there. So there is a very important. So we got to reinvent a lot of new things in the next 22 years. Urban transport, we got to reinvent, and I'm very sure we will do it. And we got to reinvent our energy mix. I'm very sure we will do it. And also we got to reinvent as we move in the next 22 years lot of technologies which is right now used as a tool for hegemonic power. A country will give technology to another country, possibly in the global south, or some might pejoratively say third world, and they use this as a foreign policy tool, and we have to break it, and we are slowly breaking it. The cryogenic systems, the rockets that we have, the space programs. We are massively proud of our country's space programs. The leapfrogging achievements we have done in the last 20-25 years in our own technology, when many countries have strategically declined. So we are fast growing. So we will do that. I still remember about 2 weeks back, the American President Donald Trump, in the AI conference in Washington, he made a couple of statements. He said, "Don't manufacture in China, don't hire Indians, invest in US." He said these three things will test the patriotism of an American company. He said, don't build in China, don't hire Indians, and invest in US. These three things will determine how patriotic you are. Every country has got the right to determine how they want to grow. Every country has got the right to determine the path they have to take. So no complaints about Donald Trump. His country, his people, he's the president. He has got every right to do what he wants. But I believe therein lies a strategic opportunity to us. When the American president inherits power in his seat. The seat has got so much power. They got the best military in the world, $33 trillion, some of the best companies there, best technologies there. So power comes from that seat. When he sees, don't hire Indians, which means very clear that the knowledge base we have. Last 5 years in US, if you average out, 72% of the H1B visas, it came to Indian. So I am seeing this as a greatest blessing and opportunity for our country. In the next 22 years, the homegrown talent, so much invention that is going to happen, and the talents are going to find their home in our Bharat, because Bharat is ready to absorb all those talent. Any global talent that wants to come to Bharat, we are ready. We are no more a third world country. We are no more snake charmers. We got that confidence that we can observe talent, and the country is ready to observe those talent. The government is also ready. We will move ahead. So nobody should see this as a challenge. The tariff war that happens now, 50%, whatever happens, I don't think we should see it as a challenge. We will find new ways. We will find ways to grow. And the honorable prime minister also made it very clear that asked our country's national self importance is number one priority for us. Agriculture, MSME, youth, farmers, fishermen population, milkmen, people who have cows, buffaloes, who are involved in milk business. The PM was very clear that India's priority is to make sure none of them gets disturbed. So we got to find new ways of growing and make our agriculture sector more productive. Of course, there are challenges, but only when we see an outside challenge, we will refocus that as an opportunity, and we'll start growing more. When we had a milk challenge, Operation Flood, where Korean sir invented it, he brought it, and suddenly we became a country that is one of the world's largest exporter of milk, largest producer of milk now. Because we saw a problem, then we saw an opportunity, we found a way to circumvent, then we grew. The same thing for wheat. When we are forced to borrow from US in the late 70s, then we had a MS Swaminathan happen to us. and we had the Operation Green Revolution. We took it to a different level, and the production of wheat and rice in our country is at a different astronomical level now. So of course this is also a challenge for us, for a country to grow. Till now all countries have grown by using export as a tool. China has used export as a tool, and before that Japan used export as a tool, and all great nations, great powers have grown in the last 60, 70 years like that. Possibly we'll overcome this also. Will overcome this also. The PM is very clear about Swadeshi, Atmanirbhar Bharat. So no complaints about any country, but lot of homegrown talents we will retain, and we will take it to a next level. So technological disruption, challenges are there, opportunities are there, and our timeless wisdom will always guide us where we have to go. And the young people who are part of this thing, you should see this as a great opportunity for you. Great opportunity, because India offers a great market, and the world's largest middle class resides here. We are looking at a population of 167 crore by 2047. Nowhere we will get a market like this, a market that is ready, market that is proud, a market that is very clear that we have to grow the Bharatiya way. So I only urge our young people to see this as a great opportunity, uh, in the country's growth trajectory. Nobody got this opportunity because it's ready made now. We have a plan, we have a future, we have national highways getting built every single day, we have airports getting opened up every single day, 160 plus and counting, inland waterways getting regularized, the ports getting massively built. Gati Shakti PM is talking every single day as we speak now. PM is in Bangalore inaugurating a phase of a metro rail. So every day we are seeing India in action, Bharat in action. So I only urge our young friends who are here to see this as a great opportunity, not to see any challenge in it. Great opportunity, and keep growing, keep our country growing. The second challenge is a democratic system. Now the democracy is maturing more, it is maturing well. At the same time, we see the fragmented opposition mounting all kinds of criticism, trying to disturb the balance. So that is natural in any democratic process. The opposition will always make noise. The opposition will always make unfounded allegation. But the next 4 5 years, Bharat is embarking on multiple things. One, the major census is going to happen in our country. Based on the census, the delimitation is going to happen. So based on the delimitation, the 33% reservation for our mothers and sisters is going to happen. And we'll also very soon get into this phase of one country, one election. So next 5 6 7 years is going to be very, very critically important from 2025 to 2031, because we are doing multiple things at a democratic level. Because the Britishers gave us an imperfect democracy. First past the post model is a form of democracy, but right from day one, we were only maturing. After the British left us, we are maturing, we are improving, we are perfecting our process. Now this is one important thing for us. When we had a one country one nation election for a long time, 1950 to 57, 60 to 67, the first four elections in our country were one nation one election. Then the disturbance happened, somebody misused article 356. Now next 6 years is going to be very crucial, because the opposition parties will throw everything, including kitchen sink, at it, just to say, oh, you did this, you did that. Just look at the recent Bihar one, where we all know, anybody in politics will know, the electoral rolls are very dirty, and dead people, fake names. Every election we face this, bogus voting, where people do all kinds of mischief. Now the special intensive revision in Bihar has shown 65 lakh so-called fake, invalid voters were eliminated, which was not actually in the roll, and including people who don't belong to Bihar, who are not residents of Bihar, of vote bank politics. They just kept it. The opposition was making so much noise, not allowing the parliament to function. But election commission, it gave them a week's time, from April 2 to April 9, a week time. Even after a week time, the opposition friends the BLAs could not produce a single person in Bihar who got affected by this special intensive revision. Even after 1 week, not even a single person. But the noise they make is so high in parliament that disturb the whole parliament's functioning. The Air Force chief, just yesterday, day before yesterday in Bangalore, he said, we have shot down 5 Pakistan jets, we have shot down a major jet, but still some of our countrymen question us, and we are forced to respond to them. So this kind of things, the noise that keeps evolving around the democratic process. And the parties losing the election always finds fault with EVM, always finds fault with the process. I think youngsters here, you have to understand that the democracy is getting strengthened at the grassroots level, and democracy will continue to get strengthened, because we are such a big country, 543 Lok Sabha MPs for a population of 144 crore. It is unmanageable. So we got to increase. But how will we increase? We need a delimitation data to clearly understand the population, clearly understand where they are residing, how to go about it. And more importantly, we also need to empower our mothers and sisters. The 33% reservation has passed in parliament, and it also has to happen. So next 6 years, I'm not seeing a challenge. I'm seeing opposition making more noises, because to disturb our growth trajectory, disturb our growth equilibrium, I think we have to tide over it. And some of the political parties, especially in southern part of our country, they have this fascination of making this everything as north and south. That is something which we got to be wary of. And India's timeless wisdom, when we look back, Mahakavi Bharati, who was born in my state, he lived in Kashi for a long time, and Kashi made him a better person. Tamil Nadu made him a better person. So Bharati is a product of traveling across India, imbibing different cultures, including from Sister Nivedita, and the great Adi Shankaracharya, born in Kerala, traveled by foot across our country 4 times. When Bharat was getting threatened by various factors, he made sure we kept unified. So all this great. My fascinating example I keep quoting, the Hoysala dynasty, King Narasimha III, when jizya tax was imposed for anybody going to Kashi to pray to Lord Mahadeva. When a jizya tax was imposed, they said anybody praying to Lord Mahadeva outside Kashi, they have to pay jizya tax. King Narasimha III of Hoysala dynasty, the present day Karnataka, he donated villages to say anybody from down south going to worship in Kashi, Lord Mahadeva, the village revenue would be used to pay the jizya tax. Narasimha III never spoke about north south. Narasimha III never said that Kashi is in northern part of India, we are in southern part of India. No, they always found. I'm talking of different centuries at different points of time, and right now with a lot of pride and with a lot of spirit, our Lord Ram, child Ram has found his dignified place again back in Ram temple. But it's a 500-year-old fight. That fight, never we look at north and south. We looked at Lord Ram as together. He has traveled to Tamil Nadu, through the present day Tamil Nadu, to go to Sri Lanka to rescue Sita Mata back. So timeless tradition, stories, wisdom, it keeps connecting our country. And Chhatrapati Shivaji, when he assumed power, he was very clear. A Maharashtra king, the present day Maharashtra, taking on the mighty Mughals. But when we crowned him Chhatrapati, he clearly mentioned the boundaries also. He crowned him Chhatrapati, the Hindu king, for across our country. And Mahabharata, when we look at it, at multiple times, the Bharat's geography was mentioned. Bharat length and breadth was mentioned. And what is Bharat was mentioned. And when we have that kind of a spirit, a country that was always together. Right now, we see politicians and some political parties trying to rake up this north-south issue once in a while, and talking about language, trying to divide us. And this second challenge, the part of a democratic system, is also, we have to understand, states like Bengal, the ruling party, states like Tamil Nadu, the ruling party, trying to play into a narrative that outside inside, that is also we got to be wary of. Because when we are very clear, but 2047 the target is this, 2047 we got to grow to 30, 33, 35 trillion dollars. Make sure that we wipe out poverty in our lifetime. Make sure we take the per capita income to $22,000 plus, so that we can call ourselves as a great country, as an economically forward country. Of course, we are culturally very, very forward. But when we are economically forward also, we will make sure Bharatiyas, they live a good life, they live a happy life, they live a contented life. These challenges, we got to be very, very, very. Politicians talking about division, politics talking about, they talk about small things that might divide us, but none of them talk about hundreds and thousands of things that unite us as Bharatiyas, as people. And water stress, the PM is always one step ahead. We got to have a green Bharat with a lot of trees, and we might not think too much about it, but we have to understand. Now, I mentioned a word, when 2047, when we grow very well, we got to be a happy country, we got to be a contented country, we got to be a peaceful country. And India, perennially, we have a water distress problem. Some states of our country, the Niti Aayog report projects 2047, what 2040, 38 out of 39 districts in Tamil Nadu will be water distressed. So we have this problem in metro areas and in urban areas. So we got to be very conscious of our resources also. And the timeless wisdom, when we look back at our history, look back at our forefathers, it is all about conservation, it is all about preservation, it is all about growth. That's how agriculture, that's how we preserved the seed, that's how we made sure that all the resources were used in a very proper, optimum way. It is only the reckless growth from the industrial revolution to the model that China propagated to different economic models before us that has created a lot of havoc, a lot of imbalance in the system. Now we got to be very clear that India will continue, Bharat will continue to be green. Bharat will continue to be water, not water starved, and we got to be very clear as citizens. Panch Pran, the Rashtriya Swayamsevak Sangh, it talks about Panch Pran because it is a very important component. We talk when Honorable Prime Minister visiting Maldives, visiting UK, the king planting a tree in the mother's name, the Maldivian Prime Minister planting a tree in the mother's name, because the PM is very clear to 2047 when we grow, what are the things we should start doing now to reach there. And the green planet is very essential because we will be growing at a fast pace. That is why I mentioned we got to reimagine the urban transport mode also. And cities should not become heat stinks. Cities should not become hotter. And cities with too many vehicles around, too much pollutants around, cities are becoming hot. We got to make sure cities should be livable, should be breathable, so that our younger generation will also get the benefit that our forefathers had. We got to be very conscious of it. These are the stresses: water stress, to pollution stress, to urban heat sinks. We got to be very careful how we navigate around. That is also, I felt we got to do it. Next is talent crunch. At one end, we have abundant talent at the top, to make sure that we sit in global corporations, we are CEOs, and we run corporations at a great scale. At the lower end, we have a problem in talent. So many of our engineering students are not battle ready, they are not industry ready. And the Honorable Prime Minister in 8th August 2025, as we speak, just 2 days back, he has approved the 4,200 crore multidisciplinary education and research improvement in technical education. Merit, it's called MERITE. The aim is to skill 7.5 lakh students in state technical education institutions over the next 5 years, because we are very clear at the bottom level, at the pyramid, bottom level of pyramid, we don't want people doing mundane jobs. When we have to become a $35 trillion, other day, the industries minister also spoke, government of India. Yes, it is important. Food delivery is important, but you cannot have lakhs of people employed there. Once the automated cars come, once Teslas come, one other cars come, the Indian technology comes, once drone starts taking it in the next 10, 12 years, what will happen to all the youth? Once the driverless cars comes, what will happen to drivers of Ola? What will happen to lakhs of people who are employed into all the sectors? So they should be skilled, so that they are ready to move forward. They are ready to contribute economically, productively to our country. And those friends are doing a hard work. And anybody doing riding in a two-wheeler in a city, delivering 15, 16, 20 parcels, they know how tough it is. It is so hard. It is very hard-working job. Picking up, going to an apartment, many a time walking multiple floors, but lakhs of people are employed there. So with the technological disruption that is going to happen, we just have to have a forethought that unless they are suitably skilled, we will have a severe problem 10 years from now, because we cannot have bulk of our 60% of our population is employed in agriculture. We all know 60% of our population. Whether they're gainfully employed, that's a question. So we are, I think the next 10 years, in my personal opinion, is going to be unleashing of agriculture productivity. 2025 to 2035, I think the PM has already set the groundwork. Soil testing, to preparing the youths, organic farming as a mission movement we are doing. If there is one country in the world which can be an organic farming powerhouse, it can be our country, which can be the only organic powerhouse for the whole world. We are just set it up. So next 10 years is going to be a great leap in agriculture productivity, and we can be easily the food capital to the whole world. And we just need educated people to come in, bring technologies inside, take that ability to have that ability to take risks. So this has severe areas that get disrupted. Are we getting battle ready by training our students? PM has just 2 days back launched this program to skill 7.5 lakh youth over the next 5 years. And skilling program is happening at a major level. So that also we got to be conscious. Talent at the local level, whether we are adequately skilling themselves, so that 2047 to realize that vision, we have enough manpower to take it forward. And we got to be healthy. And this is something very important to us. China has become wealthy. Whether China has become healthy or China has become young, that's a question. And China is becoming older. China is also becoming unhealthy, because that is the nature of the lifestyle when it goes up. And India, we got to be very clear, in 2047, still will be an young country. When we hit $22,000 per capita income, we got to be young, we got to be healthy. At the same time, we got to be happy. So these three things should determine. There's no point being a rich country and not happy. There's no point being a rich country and being average age being 60, 65. So India possibly we got to remain healthy. That is also very important. Fit India movements, making our youngsters to look at fitness as a way of life, yogic practice, and eating habits, no junk foods. And as we speak now, CBSE this year has gone very hard in the CBSE schools. They have to display the sugar markers there. They have to display the healthiness quotient of each of the food. And PM personally is leading the yoga mission across the world. Where we are trying to make the world a happy, holistic place. And these are things that we should not leave it. And growing only is not the tool. We have to grow, but we have to grow in a certain way. We got to grow in a happy way. We got to grow in a healthy way. So all these things are very important. And so that also I'm very sure Disha Bharat is there in that direction, to take there to reach 2047. At the same time, to make sure that we follow a certain path, because we always talk about growing the India's way, growing Bharatiya's way, growing with our timeless wisdom's way, and not following the path other countries have followed before us. And that is a path we should never take. And all of us are very clear that our path is going to be unique. And as we speak now also, if we look at some of the statistics, as if we speak now, I want to present some statistics before you, just to give you where we are, in terms of a country, as a growth engine, and where we will be in the next 5 years. I just want to present this data to you. And 1991, our population expectancy was at 58 years. 2025, we are at 72 years, meaning we are becoming a country which we can live long, and advent of medicals and everything. Literacy rate, we were at 52% in 1991. 2025, we are at 80.3%. And GDP growth rate, we were at 3%, 4%, 5% for a long time. Right now, we are comfortably at 7%, 7.5%. And we are also seeing that. For a kind understanding, in 1991, our per capita income was only at $310. Only $310 in 1991. Today, we are at $2,500. I'm just giving you the statistics to tell you, from 1991 to 2025, we have grown here. And that too, some middle governments there, not great governments there, 10 years of UPA there. We have seen all those things. And as we speak now, if you look at exports, 1991, 18 billion, 1991. 2025, we are at 820 billion. Where is 18 billion and where is 820 billion? Again, if you look at foreign currency reserve, 1991 was at 5 billion. Today, we are at 698 billion. So this is to tell you whatever we speak is possible. It is doable. 1991, we were there, and then we have reached here. We will 100% reach there. There's no question about it. Because of the population we have, because of the youth we have, and we will 100% reach there. It is not at all a problem. But only question is, we got to use it. You got to reach there and happy, healthy, and do it the Bharatiya's way. Again, if you look at the world, if you look at the world per se, so US right now is at 33 trillion right now. 2029, 2035, US might hit about 40 trillion. So we are looking at a growth of about 2.5% for US. If you look at China, from now to 2035, they might grow at 4%. If you look at EU 22, the European Union 22 countries, from now to 2035, they might grow as an average of 1.5%. Japan will grow at 1%. But from now to 2035, only the next 10 years, the average India would be growing is 7%. So when 2035 comes, India would easily will be around about 8, 9 trillion. Then we got to make one leapfrog to 2047. So one leapfrog is 2025 to 2035. We got to leapfrog there. And 2035 to 47 is going to be another leapfrog, but is going to be a multi-dimensional shift. And first 10 years, foundations is laid. We might grow at 7%. We might adapt technology faster. But 2035 to 47, so we will grow through phases. It is not that it will be a constant pace from here to there. We will have near challenges, immediate challenges for the next 10 years. Once we overcome it with a lot of spirit, then we will see a real drastic jump. That's how other countries have grown. US, 1995, they were at 5 trillion. And right now, US is at 33 trillion. So that's how they grew. They grew to a certain level. After that, the quantification was much higher. So that also we have to understand. As we speak now, India, We are the second largest in steel in the world. We produce about 148 million tons. Last year we produced. We are second largest in cement. We produced 423 million tons last year. Two wheelers, we are the largest in the world. We produced 21 million units last year. And four wheeler, we are the third largest in the world current now. Last year we produced 5.2 million units. Construction in terms of square feet, we are the second largest in the world. 1.4 billion square feet we are producing. Information technology enabled service revenue, we are at 254 billion. For a kind information, Saudi's total oil export is at 180 billion. We are at 254 billion. Our software services export alone is. Electricity production, we are third largest in the world, 1,739 billion units. Again, wireless phone, we are second largest in the world, 1,200 million. So if you look at it, we are on a different level. We are on a different level. Just to give you a comparison, when you produce 148 million tons of steel, America produces 80 million tons of steel. When we produce 423 million tons of cement, America produces right now 95 million tons of cement. When we talk about 5.2 million units of four wheeler, America produces 9.8 million units of four wheelers. Software services, we are at 254 billion. US is at 1,800 billion. That is a leap. That's a technology we are talking of. So basic stuff, consumer stuff, we are there. In terms of technology, we are at 254 billion. US is at 1,800 billion. We got to catch there. And if you look at the other performance, coal, we are second largest in the world at 988 million tons. Again, iron ore. Previously we spoke about steel. Iron ore, we are third largest, 290 million tons. Aviation, in terms of passenger movement, we are third in the world. 216 million people used airplanes last year. Railway, we are fourth largest, 68,000 kilometers. We have right lines. Roadway, we are second largest in the world, 6 million kilometers. So I can give you data to show we are already there. Our basement is there. We are just there in top two, top three, top four. We are just there. The basement, we have built it. We are not producing cement just to waste. We are producing cement to build more square feet of land. Because we are building more square feet of building, because more companies can come and shift there, more people can work. And as we speak, every year, the national highways, the railway lines, we are only increasing. And we got to have confidence to understand, looking at the data to understand the base is being set. And once the base is being set, then it is going to be an exponential growth in a matter of time. So all the participants of Disha Bharat, just look at the micro indicators. It's fantastic. The macro indicators will be continue to be fantastic. We are reclaiming our cultural glory from new temple, renovated temple, and for Lord Mahadeva in Kashi to Ram temple to Ujjain, to all the things that is happening is a cultural rejuvenation that is happening. The spirit and sense of being a Bharatian, we are seeing it with our eyes in front of in our own life, that we can reclaim our culture. And the family system, family oriented values, probably we are teaching to the whole world, how to live as a family. The institution of marriage, the institution of child, the institution of treating our elders with respect, the institution of taking care of our elders at home. So everything we are just leading with our timeless wisdom. So I'm very sure the young people who are here, the next 22 years, with the base that is currently being built, 25 to 35 is going to be one level of growth, then 35 to 47 is going to be a leapfrogging, because technology, we showed where we are, cement, steel, everything we are there. Exports, we just mentioned about 254 billion to Americans, 1,800 billion. So we got to go there. GCC companies, we got to go there, get into core technology. That will happen. It's just a matter of time. With more talent staying back, with more talents like you, innovating, more talents like you, but taking not a beaten path, but probably taking a new path, taking a challenging path. That is the excitement for us. And Robert Frost said, the road not taken. I'm sure many of you will take the road not taken in the future, take the challenging projects, challenging companies, solve India's challenging problems, be it a social problem, be it a technological problem. That gives a lot of excitement to us, to see the young people in our country taking the less trodden path and doing wonders for our country. And we need a lot of global corporations. Right now, the Reliance, as we speak now, is probably the only company in the world that is also probably 40th, 42nd in the world in terms of the per capita income. But the top companies are in US. We got to look at chip manufacturing. Nvidia is there. We look at Google's and Alphabet's and Microsoft's, and some of the consumer brands like Starbucks, some of the oil producing giants. So now it is important that some of you will choose to start companies, create global brands that can stand the test of time. And global brands are soft power. Anytime you go to McDonald's, it's an American projection of power. Anytime you go to a Starbucks, it's an American projection of power. Anytime you look at, you'll use Google in your right now. I'm using an American technology to talk to you. It's a projection of their power. It's a projection of their soft power. That's why they believe they can put a tariff, they can negotiate, and they can force you to take a position because technology is with them. And right now, for India, it's very clear, young people like you. So we should have our own technology, and we should imagine, reinvent, create brands, consumer brands, bigger brands in the next 20-25 years, so that when Fortune 500 comes in 2047, when we open the book, in the top 10 we should have 3-4 brands, 3-4 corporations. The top 100 we should have 20-30. And again, the university rankings, the quest rankings that come every year, we should see a lot of IITs, IIMs, different colleges, technological universities, patent filing. We should be number one in the world. So there are a lot of areas to cover. And sorry, I've taken a lot of your time. They told me to speak for 30 minutes. I've already crossed 45 minutes. I'm sure sky is the limit for our growth. We will reach there. Just have that spirit and confidence, and we'll be there. Thank you so much, and really enjoy talking to this wonderful group. Though it is a video conference, not able to see you in person, not able to see your eyes, the sparkling eyes. Only I had to see the computer screen. And nevertheless, it's a great honor, and we'll get an opportunity to meet soon in person. Thank you so much. Namaste.
Wonderful, sir. I think we have just created a couple of questions. I think basically it was an awe-inspiring speech because you covered length and breadth of the entire policy making to the challenges, because we are in a very unique situation. And what you have done is you have given us a capsule with information loaded with knowledge and wisdom, which I hope will inspire and transform the Bharatiyas in the next 20 years. Right? You mentioned about how Bharatiyas have to double down the next 10 years and then leapfrog after for the next decade. So I think you just give a very good pathway for our youth on how to take it forward. So I have just two questions, sir. The first question is more towards the education. So, I mean, we know we have the NEP, the National Education Policy. We have the IKS as part of, is blended as part of the NPP. Disha Bharat is also a great proponent of IKS system. But is there something that you want to ensure that the value systems, they're rooted from a basic education from a grassroots level? So what are the things that you would think that would help in the next decade or next couple of decades? I know the NVP is there, but is there something you want to add?
Srihari, I would say we should train our youth to become problem solvers. I think it's a mindset problem. And the day one you enter a college, you spend 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, whatever time the course is. And we should train them to become problem solvers, that curious mindset of seeking. And that comes with the basic education model. And though NEP 2020, it came in, slowly implementation is happening. We have time till 2030 to bring full implementation. And right now we got to accelerate, not expect the government can only lay us a direction. But every single educational foundation, institution, they think should be their mission, because it's a sin. In the next 22 years, if we don't grow, it's a sin. And such a beautiful opportunity we have. And the basic indicators are fantastic. The foundation is great. We have largest number of youth in the whole world in front of us, hungry, passionate youth. Educational institutions have to double down. I feel very sad when educational institutions get caught up in the NEP politics. I feel very sad, because the sacred purpose of an education institution is to make sure I will give the best of knowledge to my students. I will make them curious. I will make them seekers. And when they get into this world, they will do miracle. That should be the mindset of us. So I believe, I personally want the education institutions to take more responsibility, be it an ITA, be it a tutorial, be it a great college like IIT Madras, IISc, Bangalore. I think we should double down. The administrators who are there, this is my number one concern now. They should double down and force things to happen fast. They should not wait. Oh, NEP full implementation is 2030. I will wait. Then no. Every day we miss is every day India is not achieving its potential. every single day we are not hitting the mark. It is a sin we are doing to our forefathers who have struggled to bring India. 1730, 23% of the world economy, 23% of the world economy India had. 1730. I'm not going much. Of course, we are an agrarian economy. Now we are looking at again regaining that share. So that is number one. Number two, the Indian knowledge systems as we speak, I'm sure only institutions like Disha Bharat can act as a connector between educational institution and the practitioners outside. We are practitioners, but many practitioners are disconnected with the educational stream. We talk about Naya Sastra, we talk about Darga Sastra. Now, whatever common laws, whatever we go and study in a law college, how many of us knew that India always had a tradition of Darga Sastra, like many Sastras we have? So this our Bharat had a Darga Sastra. We taught people how to argue. We taught people how to put our points across, how to bring different dimensions of thought process together to win an argument or to elucidate an argument. So Darga Sastra, it's a land of Darga Sastra. Suddenly we have these Britishers coming in, common law concept coming in. This is the way to educate in a legal model. So there we have a problem. Medicine. Modern medicine is not acting. Modern medicine is not giving any cure to many problems. When somebody sees heart alone, somebody sees lungs alone, somebody sees eye alone, the holistic medicine has taken a backseat with the increasing rate of cancers, with a lot of problem that is happening around. Our medical system is the only medical system that is holistic in nature. I'm not being very jingoist here because our medical system is trained to see the whole body as a composite organ, and we see connections between organs, and that is the need of the hour now. All the medical school, they have to understand that the Western model of medicine, where we see organ by organ, where we separately treat. Okay, give antibiotic to this, some problem happens. Okay, you come and give antibiotic now. No, that will never work. So that is what sometimes makes me angry also, that we have so much knowledge inbuilt. The government is showing a direction. So why are we not forcing it to happen? Sometimes you got to force things to happen, sir. And many countries, when they came in, US, if you take a classic example, when Great Depression happened, Frank FDR was there. What did they do? They never allowed, waited and pray to God saying Great Depression go away. They built their country to be ready after Great Depression. They built roads. They built railroads. They built dams. All the time they build. They said, okay, when the Great Depression is over, I am ready for it. So even now, some of the infra that is created in the US that was built during Great Depression, even now the infra US doesn't need some of the roads, they don't need, but they built so big a highway miles. So that should be our spirit, with that collective goal of just thinking that we should not waste a single day of time. Just push ourselves harder. Don't and youth, I personally believe, since you mentioned about new education policy and IKS, we should not waste a single day talking about nonsensical topic. North is better, south is better, which is better, that is better. No, that are not topics. That is all bygone eras. We should only talking about positive spirit, growth mindset, enabling environment, innovative mindset, problem solving ability, a curious seeking attitude. I think this colleges should be very careful in bringing this into a kid's mind at a very young age. This would be my answer, Sri Hariji. Thank you.
Wonderful, sir. I think my follow-up question was around that. What should be the direction for the youth in future? And you clearly explained what it needs to be: problem solving, curious nature. I think the entire ecosystem has to evolve and try to push the forward, because the youth, as you said, is a big percentage going into 2047. So with that, I kind of end. But before I end, I just want to say that today is a very auspicious day. Today is Gayatri Jayanti, where we chant the Gayatri mantra, which is believed to purify and stabilize our mind, lead into a spiritual growth and success. And I hope the discussions that you shared and the ideas that you provoked leads us to that. And Gayatri mantra embodies wisdom, knowledge, and a spiritual a pathway for us. It is also the mother of all Vedas. So yeah, with that, I just chant the Gayatri mantra here, and we can close the session. Om Bhurvuvassuvaha Tatsavitharvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Na Prachodayat.